Savage. Hi and welcome to my 2015 review of the year. 2015 was pretty good actually in general. Undoubtedly better than 2014, which was a bit of a clusterfuck, unless you had a Wii U, in which case it was fucking awesome. But last year kind of seemed stuck in between two generations, whereas this year the generations seem to have come into their own. They're not being held back by games that are appearing on both generations. So there's been more high quality games this year than any in recent memory. So I don't think I've played 10 awesome games this year though. The games are so big this year. So what I've done is I've got my top 5 best assist and top 5 most disappointingest games of 2015. A quick note, there's a few notable games I haven't played. So I haven't played Fallout 4, Splatoon, I haven't played StarCraft, Xenoblade. Well, there must be some other big ones I'm missing. But if it's not on the list, it means it was either I didn't like it as much as these games, or I just haven't played it. Let me know your favourites too. So without further ado, let's go. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Now, I already made a video earlier in the year explaining my love for Snake's latest adventure, and it mostly still holds true. I mean, the sheer amount of tools at your disposal to have a great time sneaking around Afghanistan is fucking staggering. I mean, they're not even like throwaway mechanics. Like, each gadget is a legit way to go about achieving your objective. Each way is memorable, each way is fun. And you can attach animals to balloons. What more do you want? Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Again. So it's more like Phantom fucking storyline, isn't it, to be honest? Like, I mean, I get that people moaned about Metal Gear's long cutscenes and stuff, but like, to me that was a big part of what made Metal Gear. Like David Hayter's voice, the self-indulgent cutscenes, and the storyline that was progressing constantly. I mean, maybe too constantly, some might say, but I think the way they went the complete opposite way. Like, I went 40 hours without any kind of storyline progression whatsoever. I mean, the charm of Metal Gear is still there in the gameplay. I mean, you've got the cardboard box, the chicken head. I mean, it is a Metal Gear game, but the lack of the story, and now we find out that there was a whole chapter missing at the end. I had to put it. It's disappointing too. So Metal Gear goes on the naughty and the nice list this year. Life is Strange. So when I was putting this list together, I originally wanted to put that piece of shit Telltale Game of Thrones game on here, for most disappointing, I mean, but apparently that came out last year, the first episode, so lucky escape for them. I mean, I had real Telltale fatigue. I mean, I haven't really enjoyed any of their games since The Wolf Among Us, because all the games are the same, just with a different skin. I mean, they're still using that same old shitty engine they've been using for 5 odd years now. And I was getting sick of adventure games altogether, to be honest, but we actually had a few good ones this year. We had King's Quest from Sierra, the reboot, which was really good. I really enjoyed the first episode of that. Looking forward to playing the others. Another one was Until Dawn. I haven't played that one, but I do hear great things. And the other one was this little gem from a little known French developer, Don't Nod, who previously made Remember Me, which ironically no one remembers. I'm not usually a fan of story-driven games like David Cage, Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, but it's not because there's anything like intrinsically wrong with them. It's because they're nearly always shit. I mean, if you're going to focus on storytelling, then tell a good fucking story. Like, To the Moon has even less gameplay than any Quantic Dream game, and that is one of the most touching and emotional stories I've ever experienced. Like, in games, books, films, anything. So Life is Strange. Its overarching story isn't anything we haven't really seen before. It's basically Twin Peaks crossed with the X-Files, crossed with fucking Saved by the Bell. But what it does really well is character development, which in a game that's all about making decisions, deciding the fate of characters, is really fucking important. Like playing Game of Thrones, I really couldn't give a toss about what choices I made because I didn't care what the consequences for the characters would be. In this game, I swear, the final moral choice, I spent a good 5 minutes just staring at the screen because I just didn't know what to do because I was worried about what was going to happen to all the characters that were involved. I mean, the script isn't perfect. I mean, I assume it was probably translated from French. But the actors are great, they do a fantastic job. The graphics are fine. I mean, it looks a little bit better than Telltale's, but I think the art style covers up any kind of technical limitations the engine has. But it's fantastic, and I highly recommend it. Easily my favourite interactive story of the year. Her Story. Oh man, I really feel like I should like this one. My wife did, and everyone keeps telling it's in so many top 10 lists of the year. But all I see is like some shitty early 90s CD-ROM game, and I mean, I know that's the look it's going for. I should clarify at this point that this is a list of most disappointing games, not necessarily the worst games of the year, because this is not a bad game. Her Story is a good story, but it's the way the story is delivered that just doesn't sit well with me. So if you don't know, it's presented as kind of like an archive of interviews, and you kind of have to sift through the interviews and try and piece together clues to kind of solve a murder and figure out what happened. But what this basically boils down to is searching the database with words and seeing what hits come back. It's basically just Googling and cutscenes. So if you like Googling and you like shitty CDI games, then go nuts. But there is nothing stopping this game from being on YouTube. Like, you could literally play this game on YouTube. That's fucking disappointing. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Now, anyone who knows me knows I fucking hate open world games. There has been a shit ton of them this year. We've got GTA 5 that came out on the PC at the start of the year. We've got Batman, Fallout 4, Mad Max, Just Cause 3. And to be honest, I cannot wait for fucking Uncharted 4 and a nice linear action game. But here I am, number 3 on the list, Witcher 3. It's actually the second open world game. So, you know, they're good games. They're high quality. Witcher 3 got its filthy claws into me and just wouldn't let go. The game feels massive, but it feels packed with stuff to do, but like real stuff to do. Not like Skyrim, where you'll get a side quest that's like, oh, I lost my shoe in the woods, find my shoe, bring me my shoe, here's a potato for your hard work. Like, every single quest has a character tied to it that you want to listen to, that you want to help. It looks the nuts, it sounds the nuts, it plays the... Well, no, it doesn't play... I mean, the combat is pretty weak, to be honest. I don't really like the combat at all, actually, now that I think about it. And I lost track of the amount of times I've fucking shouting at that Roach, the dumbest horse to ever come in a video game. But it doesn't matter, because the world is so beautiful, so convincing, and I just didn't want to stop exploring it. Next. Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. Say what? Okay, everyone who knows me knows that Dark Souls is easily my favourite series of all time. Well, probably on par with Mario. Again, this isn't a bad game. It's disappointing. I was disappointed by this. It's a great game. I think it's a worthy sequel. But this edition let me down. I like the updated graphics. The DLC areas are the best in the entire game. But where it let me down is the kind of artificial difficulty. So the Souls games are hard, but they're rarely unfair. So the additions here mostly come in the guise of throwing as many enemies at you as possible, and it just feels like a ball ache rather than a cleverly designed challenge. Dark Souls 2 had its fair share of problems when it came to level design, enemy placement. I was really hoping these would be addressed with this edition, but they're not, and it's actually worse in some places. It's still a 9 out of 10 game for me, but it was enough to get on my most disappointing list for the year. Also, why was this released a week after Bloodborne? Fucking idiots. Undertale. Holy shit, this game is good, guys. Like, unbelievably fucking good. So on the surface, it kind of looks like an old SNES RPG. And aesthetically, it definitely resembles Earthbound. I assume that's intentional, because it looks almost exactly the same. But this is it's actually the most forward-thinking and progressive RPG I've played in years. So the underlying unique selling point is that you don't have to kill anything in the game. Like, each encounter has a pacifist way out of it. Like, you can talk your way out of a fight. And the game's biggest achievement, along with its incredible writing, its amazing characters, is how it uses this mechanic to play with you, the player. I mean, it's constantly breaking the fourth wall in clever and unique ways, and you have to play it through it more than once. I can't talk about it too much without spoiling it, but it is fucking clever the way that it kind of breaks the game and it breaks you and you question everything you've done. It's quite a short game. I think I finished it in about 6 hours the first time round, and I just had to play through it again and again and see everything it has to offer. It's chock full of Easter eggs. The soundtrack is my favourite of the year. The soundtrack's amazing. Like, months later, I'm still humming some of the tunes. And it was made by one guy, like nearly entirely made by one guy, Toby Fox, and that just makes it all the more impressive. I hope it gets a console release, so it finds a wider audience, because it definitely deserves it. And it's just beyond what most games set out to achieve. Like, if you agree with the notion that games can go beyond just being played, like if you think that games can be a unique, powerful tool for story, then you have to play this game. You have to play this game at least 3 times. Hotline Miami 2. Oh, see, now we're getting into realms of games that were actually really disappointing. Like, Hotline Miami was my favourite game the year that it came out. It combined Dark Souls with Smash TV, and I loved it more than my own mother. This year the sequel came out, and they just changed it too much. Like, the tightly designed corridors of the original were thrown out, and they replaced it with kind of wide open areas. The almost puzzle-like progression was replaced with just hoping you get lucky, basically, because you just couldn't see the enemy. Bullets would come off the screen, you had no idea where they came from. What a letdown. I mean, the soundtrack, it was great, probably better than the first, but I didn't even finish it. I'm getting upset talking about it. Can we move? Let's move on, please. Bloodborne! Oh, no one saw this coming. A million times Bloodborne. No game this year has sucked me in and gave me so much pain, so much pleasure as From Software and Miyazaki's fucking masterpiece. The tight combat, the subtle but deep storytelling, the looming and haunting architecture, the overwhelming sense of achievement. I did not want to wake up from this nightmare. Everyone knows I love Dark Souls, I love Demon Souls, and Bloodborne just blew me away. And I've played through it twice. I platinumed it with my cousin, and it is fantastic. And I'm still not bored with it. I want it more. I just want to play more. The DLC was the best DLC of the year. If you didn't get on with Dark Souls, I implore you to try Bloodborne. It is difficulty-wise, it's a notch down from Dark Souls. The combat's a lot more fluid, almost more. It's not arcadey, but if you were comparing the two, you'd see what I mean. Just go and play it, guys. Just go out and buy it now. Buy it right now, and then hook me up on PSN, and we will go hunting together. Batman Arkham Knight. Okay, let's just forget that it doesn't even fucking work on the PC. Even when it works absolutely fine, this is a fucking disappointing game. The story is fucking weak. Even the most basic of Batman fans knew who the Arkham Knight was from the very start. It suffers from the same problems that Arkham City did, of just name-dropping as many of Batman's villains as possible without, crafting a genuine sense of fear or danger for any of them. Which they did really well in Arkham Asylum. When you were locked in and the Joker was talking to you over the tannoys, you felt kind of trapped, and it built up to, the last boss fight was terrible, but there was still a big suspense, a big build-up. There's no civilians, Like, I was really hoping that Gotham City, in this next gen with the new hardware, would be a nice, vibrant, well, not vibrant, you know, still Batman, but, you know, like a full city, like the same as, you know, Los Santos, you know, like, I want to, like, rescue civilians or, you know, beat up civilians, whatever I choose to do, but no, Scarecrow's fucked up the city, so good, you've got a nice, empty Gotham City to fucking fly around, and it's still fun flying around. It's a lot more fun and a lot more quicker than the Batmobile, which was obviously, you know, the biggest selling point for this new game. And I think Rocksteady knew that no one was going to choose to use the Batmobile because they continually skullfuck us with the Batmobile every given opportunity. Like every other mission, I've got to get in that fucking shitty Batmobile. Fuck the Batmobile and fuck this game. I am going to play Bloodborne. Okay, it's time for some bonus awards. So, the Ron Swanson Award for Best Moustache in Gaming for 2015 goes to this dude from the Order 1886. Shit game, nice moustaches. The Peter Molyneux Award for Definitely Won't Be As Good As Everyone Is Saying It Will Be award goes to No Man's Sky, because no one fucking knows what the hell that game is. It looks nice, but what exactly are we doing? What's the point of it? Okay, the Katie Hopkins Get in the Fucking Sea Award for being a massive cunt award goes to Konami. The Kylo Ren Emo of the Year award goes to Hatred. Man, was there ever more a desperate attempt to get attention? Jesus fucking Christ. That game. And the final award, the Lego Movie Award for Most Awesome Moment of the Year goes to me and Owen getting the platinum on Bloodborne. It's alright, we got this, don't worry. Yes! Yeah! Oh, have you got the trophy? Have you got it? Oh, I got it as well! I got it as well! Yes! 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 Oh, bid farewell. Bid farewell. It's done. I don't even have to do it on my file. It's done. So yeah, 2015, pretty great. Good selection of games, good variety of games as well. Looking forward to 2016. I can't wait to get me some of that sweet, sweet VR pornography.